What's up, everybody? Stephen Bogran here, Pro Physique. Today, I want to talk about useless data. What the fuck? Shh. Alright, guys, so it is Friday morning. That's right. I actually kind of had an early morning myself. I had to make sure that I got up and got over to Clearwater in time to hit weigh-ins. As you can see, I'm actually chilling over at my mom's house right now, just because it's going to be a little bit more convenient for the meet tomorrow. So hopefully things go well and we hit some PRs and have a good day. The meet is actually out on the beach, so the platform is going to be a bunch of boards out on top of the sand and like have towels and shit nailed down. So it should be a pretty cool meet. Definitely like one of a kind of thing. But it will be hot for sure. And I'm probably going to be all red and sunburned. But I digress now. I've eaten. I've had my water. I made weight. So that really kind of got me thinking about like, what about some of the stuff that just doesn't matter, right? So I remember when weight didn't matter. When I was doing men's physique, I didn't care about my weight class, right? It didn't matter. I was judged by height, except for the one NGA show that I did where NGA had a weight class. So why would I need to worry about weight? I just need to get as lean as I can possibly be, and in my off season, stay within a certain body composition range so that I'm not getting crazy. So weight mattered a little bit, but it wasn't really a huge important detail unless it started going off the deep end. What if I had been stuck on weight all the time? What if weight was my only determinant of making progress? Well, things get dangerous now then, right? Because then, the only way that I think that I'm putting on muscle is if I'm gaining weight. And that can be a dangerous thing. But it's not just limited to weight. I see people all the time get caught up in the minutia of fitness and of putting on muscle and of getting stronger, whatever it might be that their fitness goals are. They get caught up in the minutia of it all, right? And so I think a lot of people like to take advantage of that minutia, of those very, very small intricacies that may or may not really make that big of a difference in the long run. So if we see more muscle activation in an exercise for, well, say it's an acute trial, right? So say it's just one bout of exercise. What does that mean for us athletes who are well trained? Well, it doesn't really mean shit. Because even though, hey, if I'm getting more muscle activation, that should mean that I'm getting a better workout. That should mean that I'm getting more muscle added on after time. But it doesn't, because what's the real thing that matters? The real thing that matters is that we're adding muscle, that we're adding that muscle cross-sectional area, right? So we want to have those studies over time where we actually get to see the difference in that muscle cross-sectional area. What about things like, hey, I used a diet pill, a fat burner, a thermogenic, right? Okay, well, great. So we know that caffeine increases your metabolic rate. We know that that helps to burn more fat, right? However, what does that actually mean for long-term fat, right? So again, we're taking the minutia, right? The very small things, and we are looking at the bigger picture. Funny enough, caffeine does help. Caffeine does work. Caffeine is awesome. If you've ever been in college or grad school or just been busy in general, caffeine's kind of your boy. He got your back. Or maybe she has your back. I don't know. I guess caffeine probably doesn't have a gender. But shit. I'll have to ask my friend Shiva. I think he'll know. But the main point is don't get stuck on these small things, right? We want to look at the big picture. Is the way that you're training actually going to increase your muscle bellies, right? Is it going to increase the cross-sectional area? Is it going to increase your strength if you're a powerlifter or a strength athlete? If you are a, say you're a speed athlete, is it going to make you faster, right? Those are the things that we want to be looking at. There's always something new coming out, right? There's always a new design. There's always a new compound. Because that's, right, if it's not new, it's outdated, right? Nobody really cares that much about it. However, sometimes it's better to look at the tried and true schematics and schemes, right? We know that linear periodization works. It's been well known for a very long time. We know that undulating periodization works, and probably a little bit better. So we've known that for a while now. There's nothing new about that information. So it's not sexy, it's not groundbreaking, it's not the hippity hoppity dippity doo. No, it just is what it is. And it's the same with things like creatine monohydrate, proper protein intake, and things of the sort. So we want to make sure that we're paying attention to those variables that we know make a difference, right? On top of that, if you're new to training, it doesn't fucking matter what you do. You're going to progress just going into the gym and doing something, right? You don't need to worry about if your supplement regimen is right, because that's a very small percentage of what it is that you're going to get out of the gym. Now, if you are a more advanced lifter, that small percentage becomes every bit more important as your training age progresses, because what you can get in total is a lot less. But it's not something you need to lose sleep over as a newer athlete or a newer person to the gym or a newer person that's just trying to make gains, right? If you haven't been doing shit and you're going to start doing shit, it's super easy. Go do stuff. Go do stuff. You're going to get better, right? If you've been doing stuff for a while, right? So maybe not forever, but maybe you've been in the gym a year or two. Maybe at that point you just need to look at how's your nutrition look. Look at the big picture items. Is there room for improvement in your nutrition, right? Is there room for improvement in your training protocols and the way in which you're training? So look at these big picture items that are going to make the biggest difference and start getting those in line first, right? There's a saying, I think it's something about the cow before the horse, but I don't really remember how it goes. So, but make sure you're walking forward, right? Make sure that you're putting the foundations and you're laying that groundwork before you start trying to work on the tippity top, That's what you want to really make sure is important, right? That's it. That's all I got. Simple. When you get caught up in the details, sometimes you lose the big picture. Don't lose the big picture. Big picture matters. Keep your eyes on the prize. Understand that if you want to get stronger, you need to be looking at things that are going to be getting your total up. If you want to get bigger, weight is definitely a good indicator, right? But we want to be doing things that are going to be getting that muscle cross-sectional area up, not just weight. We want the right kind of weight. And so sometimes you have to stop yourself from overthinking the process. That is why a lot of people like to have the coach, because it keeps you out of the process. That's why I like to have a coach, because you know what I do? I get caught up in the minutia of stuff. And then I start screwing everything up, and guess what? 6 months later, I'm back where I have not moved at all, right? And I know better. So being able to be objective with yourself can sometimes be hard. If you are able to do that, awesome. But I know I can't, and I know a lot of other people I know can't. So it might be worth your time to find somebody that you can trust, that you know is intelligent enough to help you out with these things. But that's it, guys. I just want to remind you, big picture, there's a whole world out there. Don't get lost in just one small area, right? If you get lost in one small area, you can lose your big picture and you can lose sight of it all. That's what it's all about, guys. So anyways, I'm going to go. I'm going to continue to eat and rest. I got a powerlifting meet tomorrow where I have to go pretend that I'm strong. So I will talk to you guys soon. You have a great weekend.